Preparing, and we're going live. Awesome. Welcome everybody. We're super excited to have you guys join with us today for day 59. Super awesome. We're just catching up with Bill a little bit. We're going to kind of open it up to some wins here pretty soon. Yes, very excited to be here and to be with you guys again. I feel like I'm last 90 day. I feel like I was a part of this a lot more, but this one it's been a little bit less. It's a little crazy. So we got tons of stuff going on this summer. So we're kind of like dividing and conquering. So opening it up to some wins over on Facebook. If you have any wins, please write it in the comments. But other than that, Bill was talking to us about some wins with last month with going a bunch of events, enjoying that, kind of getting used to the new summer heat. Actually, now that it's like basically getting summer finally, not spring weather still. So we're out here in Utah. It's barely getting past spring weather, even though it's almost July, which is crazy. But yeah, opening it up to some wins. Josetta, Suzanne, Connie, do you guys have any wins for us? I feel like I always say Trise, but I feel like that's not right. Is that right, Trise? Is that right? Yeah, cool. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Josette, you got a win for us?
Yeah, I picked up 2 new customers. My boss, where I work, had a necklace on, and she got complimented at the gas station, and she handed a business card. And I have a big vendor event. I'll be set up for 3 days. Down at the campground, they have a big event down the street, but because I can set up at that campground, I'll be set up tomorrow and Friday, and then do the event on Saturday.
Awesome.
So that's like my 4th event.
Heck yeah. How are the events going this summer for you?
They're going good because the campground I go to, we're allowed to set it out in front of I have a 39-foot toy hauler. So that is my bling machine.
Awesome.
And so we can set it out, but they have a flea market the 3rd weekend of every month. So what was it? Not even 2 weeks ago, the 3rd weekend of this month, I did almost $200 in sales.
No way.
Yeah. I'm better doing the face-to-face than the Facebook Live. So
there's something about the personal connection, there's something getting back to some of that. That is super awesome. Good for you, Suzanne. Quick little question for you. Have you been using some of this recruiting tool stuff? I know sometimes a lot of it is based on online stuff and social media, but have you been using some of this stuff in some of your in-person recruiting?
Yes, because what I do on my table, I have a little sign that asks, are you interested in making extra money? And I have a QR code on there, and they can scan that. And then they ask me, like the last one, she is going to sign up. She said she was going to do it on Monday, but I got to touch bases with her. And she goes, I automatically added her to my Facebook, and then we've been going back and forth. So she does Scentsy right now, but I was telling her about the website. We get the website for free, where they pay like $20 a month for one.
Right.
So that there was just a talking point. So
awesome, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Good job.
I just wish people would join my team. I don't have any recruits yet.
And really, it's like, if we detach from it and not like make us feel like dumb or kind of like frustrated about it, sometimes it's kind of like, okay, if I can think about this as a business person, I'm finding people, they're just not converting. So there's a little bit of a gap. What do I need to do to try and convert them? Is it the way I talk to them? Maybe I ask them different types of questions. Maybe I create an offer. If you're kind of following online courses and social media people, they're kind of this idea of creating offers and how you can stand out rather than just like being a commodity being like just a price, right?
And I go back and rewatch all these, and I type out, or I print out everything so I can go back, because like right now I'm at work, but they allow me to do this at work. So
awesome. Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. And if you haven't heard the term offer, I would highly suggest you looking into it. There's a great book, an amazing book. It's called $100 Million Offers. You can find it on Audible as well, but the book is awesome to go through. It's got some graphics, but it's seriously, business, IQ just went up a ton by doing that, by reading that book and going through it. It's a great way for you to be able to know how to differentiate from you versus another consultant and what you can offer versus just being another thing. And something he talks about is he uses a lot of fitness terms. So it's like, if I'm trying to be a fitness trainer, why would I go with Jeanette versus Robin, right? Like you're both, well, Robin's paying 125. I'm just gonna go with Jeanette because it's $100. Okay. Sometimes, a lot of times we're just based on price, but when we offer things, it's based on value, not just price. So as you offer value, the price goes down. Okay. So it's
So-
really, really, it's super, super important. The book is called $100 Million Offers. I normally have it with me, but I don't have it. It's like a purple cover. It's got a big $100 bill on it, but I would
Yeah.
highly recommend you getting that.
I have one more because I'm a tax preparer and specialize in bookkeeping. So they come on my team, they get expert bookkeeping, learn how to keep records for their business. So,
and that's what's great about you, Suzanne, is that's what you can offer people. And I wouldn't be able to do that. And so offer that, and you'll be able to attract different levels of people with what you can offer people. Okay. And seriously, like offers are like super, super important with what you can offer people and like the value that you provide for people rather than just based off price alone. And if you add enough value, people will buy it. Like for an example, like if I were to say that there's could you come up for $100,000 for a car right now? Most people's like, nah, I ain't paid for that. Well, what if I said it was a Lamborghini, and normally Lamborghinis are worth $1 million? Let's just say, I don't know what they're really worth, right? It's like, well, they're really worth $1 million. I think I could find $100,000. Well, just barely. You said you didn't have $100,000 at all to your name. It's like, if you add enough value, people are willing to pay the price. Okay. Same thing with what we do. If we can add enough value with the things that we offer, the price of 900, like $100 is nothing, right? It's nothing. $500. I want us to start pushing the $500 kit and not ever bring up the $100 kit because of the level of people that we can kind of, there's different intentionality when people sign up for a $500 kit versus a $100 kit. Okay. So really, really cool kind of little nugs to kind of think about and kind of process. And yeah, Robin, start with value, not the cost. Exactly. So get started. If anybody joining us that haven't joined us before, as always, we always have a little important information post that's pinned inside of this group that you can go into and find the replays, find the Zoom. We obviously love having you guys join us on Zoom as well. Anybody following us on Facebook. But today is day 59. We are focusing on recruiting presentation prep. So he is gearing us up for a big week-long recruiting run, basically. Okay. He's saying that this recruiting run is what we first want to do with basically part of the homework is commit that you're going to do this. Okay. So this recruiting run is going to start the 5th of July. And basically all the days leading up to the 5th is going to be getting prepped and ready for this. Okay. So from the 5th basically to the 11th is going to be 7 days of when we want you to be going live or basically doing a Zoom training or a Zoom presentation every single day to try and get people onto this presentation every single one of those days from the 5th to the 11th to recruit them. Okay. So something he said towards the end that was actually very interesting about it is sometimes we think about this like, oh, it's homework. Like I'll just put it together. Right. Something he said is, how would you prepare is if you felt like $1 million, like people that were worth $1 million are coming to this presentation. How would you talk to them? How would you promote to them? How would you remind them? How prepared would you be for the presentation, right? So think about that as we prepare, because sometimes it's like, I mean, this is from my own experience as well. Sometimes we get into this and we're like, like, I'll just put it together what we've done before, right? But if I know there's going to be high quality people there, I might have a different level of intentionality. I might come a little bit more prepared, okay? So think about this. This is your business. What would it look like to go all into the sprint, okay? Again, how would you prepare? What would you do? And something he said is get some help with this. Like what people would I invite with me? What upline, sideline, what people are part of paparazzi can you get to come to this? Okay. So something he said is I'm going to kind of just go into the homework and kind of explain the homework as we're explaining this. So again, he said the first thing that we want you to do is commit to this. So this is prep. So we've got basically a week of prep. And what's nice and what's great about this is it's after 4th of July. Okay. We can kind of have a little bit of holiday, but then a big recruiting run during July, because July during summer months are a little bit slower for most network marketing companies. So this is a great way to get people involved and people joined into your business. Okay. So first of all, we want to commit and schedule these out. So what days and time, like what times you're going to be doing it every day. Okay. Schedule it out. Something he said is do not announce all 7 at once to your people, because when you announce all 7, it loses scarcity and urgency, and people are like, if I can't come today, I'll come tomorrow, right? If you're talking offline one-on-one and one person can't come, then make it seem like, well, I might be doing another one tomorrow, so maybe I'll reach out to you to make sure, right? But you want to make sure there's the little bit of urgency for people to make it there. Okay, so remember that every single day, 7 days. Okay, that's number 1. Commit and schedule it out. Number 2, he said, before I get into 2, he said, do a Zoom training. He said you can do a live, but Zooms obviously have a different level of connection there and inviting people there. Okay. Number 2, name the sprint. Name this as something specific. And something he said is like, hey, here's what evaluating a side business looks like. Here's how to earn some extra cash flow. Here's a workshop in how to look for side hustles, right? So have a certain, I've heard sexy, create a sexy name that's appealing and catchy for people to want to join you on these Zooms. Okay. So that's 1. That's the first thing. Commit and schedule it out. Number 2 is naming it something as specific or catchy that people remember, interesting or fun. And then the third thing is he said, something he said, I mean, I think you can kind of find a little variation here, but something he said to do these presentations is he calls it the perfect presentation. Hopefully we've talked about this multiple times with you guys, but the perfect presentation in his words is basically it's intro, you're telling your story, and then he goes into the 5 things. So if you followed our group, our team, Becoming a Paparazzi Consultant group, we have a video there that's called the 5 key elements of a business. And it goes into these 5 elements. It's like an 8-minute video. And these 5 elements that we go into, and basically what you're setting it up as is when you're wanting to look at any type of side hustle or any type of business, you want to look at these 5 things. If there's 3 things like apparent in a business that you're looking, it's a great business. But if you have all 5, it's awesome. Okay. The first one is product. What product are they selling? And he kind of goes into some different questions. Is there a need in the market? So for example, if you're looking to a product like jewelry, yeah, well, jewelry's been around for the dawn of ages. I mean, everybody's worn jewelry from like Adam, to now the jewelry business. I think there was like something in like the billions. I don't know if it was like $20 billion market where people are buying jewelry still like every year. Okay. So there's a need. Next one, is it priced to sell? Yeah, it's $5. I mean, it is priced to sell. Definitely. It's not $1,000 thing where it's a little bit harder to sell. It's priced to sell. It's $5. And is it priced for profit? Yeah, there's a 45% commission. Yeah, you make a profit on this. Awesome. Okay, that's the product. Number 2 is company. When you're joining a company, you could have an amazing company, but bad leadership, and it'll run it into the ground. And you can have good leadership and have a crappy company, and it could rise. Okay, so this is where finding a good company is important. And even just you can go into talking about our company and why paparazzi is awesome, how we're debt free, how the founders have integrity, and all this sort of thing. Okay, if you want an example of this, go watch our 5 key elements video. Okay, it's a great way to kind of get a gist of this. We start at the beginning with the intro. We have 5 different people give each one of these 5 different elements to it. And then we have a call to action at the end. Okay. So coming back to this, there's product, there's company, there's comp plan. So you can kind of talk about how like, hey, when you look into a company like this, you want to look at the comp plan and how well the comp plan is. And and what's great about this is you don't have to just sell the product. You can actually make money off building a team and getting people and helping other people. Okay. 4th is, support. What type of support do you have? What's awesome about network marketing and like paparazzi in general is we don't have to do the trends and like all the market research and finding out what new trends in jewelry are. We don't have to ship it out to you. I mean, they ship it out to us, right? Or if you use the replicated site, they can ship it out for you. They've got customer service stuff for orders. They take pictures. They've got modeling. I mean, that's a lot of work. If you didn't have that, I mean, that's a lot of work. Even finding all the manufacturing, that's a lot of work. Okay. So we have a lot of support here in Paparazzi. We've got trainings, we've got conventions, we've got incentives for free trips. I mean, there's a lot of support. Okay. And the fifth is timing. And the thing that's interesting about this is, frankly put, you can twist and make timing to put to your advantage. Okay. So since we're 10 years about in with Paparazzi, what's great about it is how you can spin this for us is like, hey, what's great about how this is perfect timing and network marketing is it's not a brand new company where they have to go through a lot of struggle to figure out like what's going on, like a lot of hiccups. I mean, they've been around for 10 years. They're established. It's a perfect time to get into Paparazzi because right now they've established, they've come a long way. Their shipping has come leaps and bounds. Like, holy cow, their training like is awesome. It's a perfect timing to get in with a company like this. Okay. And then the last is call to action. What is your call to action? What's the next thing you want them to do? Okay. So that could be hearing more. That could be joining you on a live. That could be getting on a one-on-one phone call with you to kind of talk more about it and kind of go through like the 4 follow-up process where you listen to them, you relate to them, you tell a story, and then you, if I would you, so you can kind of convert them, right? So some sort of call to action at the end to say, hey, if you're interested to learning more, well, let's get on a personal phone call and let's talk about it. Okay. And if you're newer or you have a team member that's newer, get on a 3-way call with somebody that knows a little bit more information than you do. Okay. Or if a team member is there and they invited somebody, get on a phone call with your newer team member. That way they don't feel intimidated to answer some questions they don't really know. Okay. So back to the homework. 1 is commit and scheduling to this 7-day run. 2 is naming it something cool, something fun, catchy. 3 is you can do the perfect presentation every day. And that's what you're kind of doing, getting people involved and kind of coming each day. 4th is getting some help to come on to these presentations. 5 is inviting everybody that you can. Okay. So using the different approaches that we've talked about direct, indirect, and super indirect, depending on the level of hotness they are or how close they are, whether it's a friend and family, or it's maybe it's a business owner that you think could be really awesome for some of this, but I'm going to use a super indirect approach to just like say, hey, this might not be for you, but I would love to hear your feedback on something like this. Then at least they're interested in maybe like giving you some feedback and supporting you. Okay. So those are the 5 main things with the homework. He basically just said, begin making invitations now. So start inviting now. So those are the 5 homework assignments to start getting us prepped and prepared for this coming on next Wednesday. Okay. Idea is we do have our customer appreciation night next Thursday. So it's basically the first day or second day of this sprint is a great way. We don't go into the perfect presentation during this, during our customer appreciation night. We talk about stories and then invite people to go watch our video. Okay. So we tied off a little bit. We separated just, we changed it up just a little bit. So it's an idea for you guys to even invite people to that and get a bunch of people there. We always make it very general. We never make it about us. So it's always, if you invited somebody here, go back to the person that invited you. It's always very general. It's used for you guys as a tool. Okay. So I know I've been talking a lot, gone into quite a bit of stuff. Any questions? Is this making sense? Did I go over things too quickly? Would you like me to go over things a little bit more? What do you guys, raise your hand and let's talk through some stuff. Josette, Jermaine, how is this going? Is this over your head? Can we take maybe some baby steps? Is this doable? How are you guys feeling about this?
So if I'm thinking about this correctly, we are going to do a presentation every day for about a week. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Now I know with our team, I know we do have our weekly presentations, but this is something outside of that we're doing ourselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, and to be honest, what's great about this is taking action. Okay, so maybe a part of those 7 days, yours is a little bit different than this perfect presentation. maybe that adds a little bit of variety to it. So if you're inviting different people, or maybe even the same person to yours versus your team one, it might be a little bit different. Like our customer appreciation, it is a little bit different than this one. So maybe you can kind of factor those in and say, okay, hey, if I'm not doing one today, I want to make sure I'm inviting people and making sure I'm getting people to the Frank team customer appreciation night on Thursday. Okay. And then Jermaine, you have your own one on Monday. Okay. Let's invite people to that one. And then all the other 5 days or 4 days you're going to do it, I'm going to do my own specific one that I'm going to head up. Right. And another thing that's great about this is, look, we've got 10 people on right now on Zoom, and there's another 8 to 10 people, at least live right now on Facebook. Collaborate together. Okay. This is a great way that you can collaborate together, that you don't feel like you're only doing it yourself. Right. So like we do, if you've seen on this 90-day run, Valencia is on Monday. Sedaria, I believe, is on Tuesday. We head up Wednesday. Tanya does Thursday, and we do Friday. So share the load. You don't have to do everything yourself. So it's like, okay, hey, Josette, we're going to get 5 to 7 people on here. We're going to get a group of 5 people together, or 6 people. Hey, you do Thursday. I'll head up Friday, and I'll be the main facilitator that day, but I'll still want you to do the product part of it. Okay. Or this. Then each day is the same presentation, but it's a little bit different because people are talking about different things each day. And there's a little bit of variation, right? So is that making sense? Use each other. I mean, don't just feel like, oh, I have to do this all by myself. Like, what happens if you're all used together and you're working a little bit smarter here and not feeling you have to do all of it by yourself, right? Making sense?
Yep.
Awesome, Jermaine. Perfect. Any other questions? Tanya said, call to action on everything. I got to replay the 5 elements. So even check that out. I'm going to see if I can find that. And if I can find that, maybe I'll put the link into here for us to kind of look at, so you can kind of get a little general idea. Even though we've done it, customize it and figure it out yourself. You know, like maybe like, I kind of like this part and I don't like this part. I'm going to change it. I don't care. If you think that that's best for you guys, then try it out, you know? Any other questions that you guys have that we can talk about? Sorry, I'm looking up, I'm trying to find this video, then I can show you guys the link, and then you guys can at least have some sort of idea of what ours is done. Ours is, obviously it's a recording, so it's going to have a different feel than a live, right?
I got a question. Are we able to do like a raffle for all those that attend, say those that are not familiar with the jewelry, that we could do a raffle at the end of the show?
Yeah,
Or
something we do is on, if you, I just send it on Facebook and in the chat here is the actual video, but our customer appreciation night, if anybody comes on when they say that they were invited by someone. So for an example, you came on to the customer appreciation night and you said, hey, Robbie invited me here. I'm going to put your name into the raffle. And at the end, we showcase some sets and we send it out. Okay. And then we call to action and say, hey, if you get back to the person and ask them some questions about this and are interested, and if you watch the 5 key elements video and get back to the person that invited you, you're entered to win another, like a bigger drawing, right? So it's kind of like different incentives and call to actions. This is what we've done. That doesn't mean that that's what you have to do. It could be like, hey, anybody that asks a question in here gets entered into the drawing. At the end, we'll send it out. And even if if 5 of you guys get together, or 10, and you're all splitting the load on different days, then it's just like, okay, use each other for jewelry. And we're like, okay, hey, Jeanette brought these 3 people. We're going to send the jewelry to this person, or we're going to share. Okay, Jeanette, if you're person 1, you're responsible for sending out your jewelry to that person, right?
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure it was compliant.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it. I would double check. I mean, I don't know policies, procedures super well. I know if we're on the same page, I know for our customer appreciation night, if they come and they say that they were invited by somebody, we add them into a drawing. It's free jewelry, right? So we're giving away free jewelry at the end. And we've been doing that for the last 6 months.
We're not asking them to buy anything.
Right.
So.
Right. And so it's making sure you're following along those guidelines. But yeah, it's just
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I'm looking at the time. If anybody doesn't have any last questions, I'm sure we're going to probably hear a little bit more from Eric Worre in the coming days, but it's a great way to think about and remember, commit to this. Hey, I'm going to go all in. Done with 4th of July. I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to get a group of us together, and we're going to figure this out. Okay. Get on a group call, figure it out. Even if you have more than 5, then split it up in different days, but you're still using each other as resources to work together. Okay. Something I've heard with one of my church leaders, he says, lift where you stand. Jeanette might be, let's just say Jeanette does 30% and I only do 10%, but at least Jeanette has the strength to do that, right? So use each other for your strengths and do what you can to even come together and do this together. Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I want to make sure you guys have enough time for new releases. Thank you guys so much. It was really great to see you guys. I always love jumping on every week to kind of see your awesome faces. Hope you have an amazing, magical day. I love to hear that from Disneyland. If you're on a call at Disneyland people, they say have a magical day at the end. And I always smile. It's like, I'm going to have a magical day today. Thank you so much. So have a great day and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.